All right, so use a diagram of the backpack at the right. What two figures approximate the shape of the backpack? Well, what we've got here is we've got a rectangular prism. This thing, it's like a box, right? But it's a rectangular prism. This whole section down here. And then we've got a half cylinder. So I'm going to actually write that in. Let's see, what are the two figures? Rectangular prism and half cylinder. I actually really enjoy this problem because watch what we do here. Okay, if this whole side is 12, then this is 12 as well. That means the diameter of this half cylinder at the top is 12. And so then what's the radius from the center to the edge? If the whole thing's 12, then half of it is 6. And that means that this height right here is also 6 inches in this case. And if that's true, then of this whole side of 17 inches over here, all the way to the top, the first 6 of it is composed of the half cylinder. So what we're looking for is the remaining. So if that was 6, then this is, the remaining amount is 11. So we've got a height of 11 inches on this box, or on this lunch. What is this again? Backpack. Sorry about that, took a second to write that in. Okay, so then we've got two parts. We've got the rectangular cylinder, which can just do base times, or length times width times height. So we've got 11 times 12 times 4. And we will add to that what we get for the cylinder. The cylinder is going to, since it's only half cylinder, we're going to say 1/2 of, and then the area of a circle formula is pi times the radius squared, and then we do times the height, and you can see that the height is actually the distance between the two half circular bases here, which is 4 inches. So we do that times 4, and then we can start to crunch these together. Oh, and I wrote r squared. Well, I guess what I should do here first is I should write just the formula of times height, like that. 1/2 pi times r squared times height. Now we're going to drop in the numbers, and we will get 1/2 times pi times the radius squared, 6 squared, times the height, and the height was 4 inches. Okay? So if we multiply the first set up here of 11 times 12 times 4, we've got 12 times 4 is 48. 48 times 11. And if you remember my trick, if you're multiplying a number by 11, you can split the digits apart and add them together for the middle number. Now what happens when they don't add up to 9 or less? These add up to 12. So what do you do with both of those digits? Well, you put a 2 in the middle from the 12, and the 1 from the 12 gets carried over, and this 4 becomes a 5. Okay, so that's 528 inches cubed. And then we're going to add to that the 1/2 pi times 6 squared times 4. So what is 1/2 of 4? These two, 1/2 of 4 is 2. So when I do 6 squared and I get 36, I need to multiply by 2, 72, and pi. Now, so up here on the, where it says 528, I'm going to get rid of that inches cubed for a second. Because what we need to add to this is the value of 72 pi. But because the second one is multiplied by pi and the first one's not, we can't add them together. We just say 528 plus 72 pi, if we were writing it in terms of pi. And what's the units? The units are inches, so we got inches cubed. That's how you write it as B asks for. What's the volume in terms of pi? And since the rectangular pyramid doesn't involve pi, it's really circles that involve pi. You're going to get these two parts, 528 from the one part and 72 pi from the other. And I'm going to leave it to you to calculate what's 72 times pi and then add 528 to it. And that should tell you, that should be the correct answer in the back of the book.